Hello and welcome to another edition of the Week Ahead. After a very busy week last week in the committees, the process is starting to wind down. Public hearings are less, work sessions are less, but they still didn't meet the deadline of completing last Friday. So with that, we'll jump into where we're headed this week. Linda, why don't you start?
Taxation, there's a public hearing tomorrow on a bill that would limit TIFs to manufacturing, finance, and technological sectors. So we're going to oppose that bill because we want it for retail and all other types of businesses. So it's going to be something that we will oppose tomorrow, and there'll be a work session on Thursday.
Will it be a big crowd?
I don't know.
Don't know? All right.
Don't know, but yeah, go ahead.
Energy and utilities, it's towards the end of the session, so things are starting to pick up there, as seems to be as in past sessions. There is a public hearing this week on LD 131, has to do with the biomass bill, report back from legislation from last session, so they'll have a public hearing on that. They'll also have numerous work sessions on some of the solar bills and some of the bills they've been working recently. Over in education, they also are working a lot of bills, no public hearings, they're just trying to finish up their work. And believe it or not, Natural Resources has finished their work, and there will be no work sessions or hearings this week in Natural Resources. So,
in LCRED, last week was a very busy week. They probably ran through at least 40 different pieces of legislation between work sessions and public hearings. The biggest thing they did was pass out a bill to reinstate the tip credit. They had an 11-2 vote, which is a very strong bipartisan support.
That's good.
It will now go to the full legislature for debate. It does contain an amendment which would make it an emergency if they can get 2/3 in both bodies. It is our hope that they will. They also passed out 3 other bills dealing with minimum wage. Rather than take time to go through that now, I would encourage you to take a look at Impact this week, where I've laid out exactly what the changes are. They deal with future increases, the COLA, and a training wage for workers under the age of 18. The committee also dealt with bills dealing with the ability of an employer to ask for an employee's previous salary, or they're not sure about their salary requirements. And they'll be dealing with bills this week that another proposal to implement paid family medical leave that would be paid for by employees rather than employers. Actually, all the proposals have had employees paying for it. The question is, how much does it cost? And they need an actuarial review of that. They may carry the bill over, it's not clear yet. But still, it's a busy time in the legislature with a lot going on as they race towards, they've got about a month now to finish their work.
We see the finish.
including the budget.
Including the budget.
Including the budget.
And what's going to happen with the 3%. So, very busy times. Stay with us. We'll be back next week for another edition of The Week Ahead. Thank you very much.
Stay classy, man.